If you're interested in developing your ghost notes, stick around and watch this video. Even if you're not interested, stick around and watch it anyway, because I'm cool. If you're a drummer, whether you're professional or not, or maybe you're a drum student, doesn't make any difference. You got to protect your ears. Now, there's no shortage of options available to you out there. I got a few here myself, but these are my favorite. These are the dBUDs by D'Addario. They're small, they're comfortable, they're attached, and they work. Ear damage or hearing loss can be a slow drip for drummers. So the sooner you start protecting your ears, the better. The cool thing about the dBUDs is that they have 2 levels of sound reduction, so you can get -12 dB or -24. So in those live rehearsal rooms, your ears are going to be just fine. I use these at rehearsals all the time. I dig them because they got a nice snug fit. They don't come loose, they don't fall out. And they also come with these cool little magnets to keep them together when you're not using them. So check out the dBUDs by D'Addario. I'm gonna leave a couple of links. If you're in the US, you can get these at SWEETWATER. If you're in Europe, you can get these at THOMANN.de. Grab yourself a pair and protect your ears. So today we're gonna talk about developing your ghost notes on your snare. So your left hand or your right hand, if you're a left-handed drummer. Don't wanna leave y'all out. But I'm just gonna show you a cool little groove that you can use to help to develop your ghost notes on the snare. And the idea is real simple. Like, it's just a repetitive movement. Heights are going to be important here. Okay, you're going to really want to pay attention to your stick height on the snare. Ghost notes are supposed to be chilling in the background, but you still know that they're there. You don't want them too loud. So your stick height off of the snare, shouldn't be any higher than an inch or 2. So you want to pay attention to that while you're doing these exercises, okay? So this is based off of a really simple sticking pattern. Right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, left. That's the pattern that we're going to work with. Okay, so the rhythm that you want to keep in your head while you're doing this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Bang, dang, 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 dang. So outside of those accents that you're playing on the ride, everything else is going to be filled in with the left hand on the snare. Okay, so let me just play that between the ride and the snare. Okay, so I suggest just playing that for a little bit. Okay, get comfortable with that. Not just with the pattern, but with the stick height, particularly with the left hand. So the next thing that we're going to do with this pattern is we're going to mirror the right hand with the kick. All right, so that will turn into this. Okay, so that's step 2 that we're going to do with this. So that's basically where this whole thing begins. I'm going to show you 3 different variations of this exercise, and with each variation, it just involves changing the accent on the snare. Okay, so that's the third element that we're going to add to this, are accents. I think it's important when you're developing your ghost notes on the snare, I think it's really important to include exercises where there's an accent immediately following a ghost note, because that's what's going to help you to develop your snap. Boom, snapping out your backbeats on the snare, okay? Just so you'll be able to do stuff like you know what I'm saying? So there's just there's a mechanic happening there where you're learning how to just sort of whip the stick down immediately following a ghost note. So that's what this whole thing's about. All right, back to the pattern. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add the backbeat to this pattern. So so if you're counting 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, we're going to accent the 2 and the 4. All right? So that's going to look like this. So again, while you're doing that, concentrate on keeping the left hand as far back as you can. Okay, that means relaxing the hand down here and, you know, just letting the stick do a lot of the work. You don't want to physically try to pound out those ghost notes. They're just going to come out too loud. You can work well together with the stick, if you just let it do its thing down there. All right. So that's the first one. The next thing that we're going to do with this, hopefully I'm not going too fast for you. We're going to go from mirroring the right hand with the bass drum to playing straight quarters on the ride. Or as I like to think of it, you're actually going to be playing eighth notes, but just accenting the quarters. All right, so that's going to, the transition, let me go from one to the other and show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so there's all kinds of stuff being developed here while we're doing this. You're working on your coordination, your dynamics with the left hand, your groove, all of that type of stuff. Eventually you're going to work your speed up. Right now we're going to work with this slow tempo just so I can show you how this works. So that's the first exercise where we're playing 2 and 4. The next variation of this, we're going to accent the E after the 1. So 1 E and a 2 E and a E, 1 E and a 2 E and a E and a 4 E and a. That's a little tricky. Looks like this. And then again, same thing, going to those quarter note accents on the ride. Pretty cool, right? And then the last one that I'll show you is we're going to accent the 1E and the 2E and the 1E and the 2E and the and the 4E and So the of 2 and the 4. So 1E and the 2E and and the 4E and and the 2E and the E and the 4E and like that. That's a little tricky to do slow, but that's it, okay? Those are the 3 exercises. The cool thing about this is that all of these grooves are usable, right? I don't show you anything that's not practical. If you can't use it on stage, I'm not gonna bother showing it to you. So you can throw these grooves into your vocabulary. The object of the game, of course, as with everything else, is to work your speed up. But make sure before you do that it sounds just as clean up-tempo as it does when you play it slow, all right? That's the whole point of this. You just want to make sure that it sounds clean once you speed it up. Okay, so it's more about, like I said before, it's more about the mechanic with the left hand. You can apply the same thing, of course, to the hi-hat. I started on the ride just because it's a little more comfortable here. But of course, you know, you want to be able to do the same thing on the hats, which you will because the mechanic is the same. Your hand's just in a slightly different position. So. So go ahead and have some fun with that. There is a free PDF with these exercises that you can download. I'm going to leave that link in the description box. Make sure you start out slow. Okay, I didn't use one here, but use a click when you're doing these. Find a comfortable tempo and just work it nice and slow. Get that left hand, keep it nice and planted. Let all of that muscle memory develop and you'll be fine once you speed up. Thanks for watching this here video. Do me a favor before you go, hit that link in the description box. That's going to take you to my merch shop. I'm wearing one of my pieces right now. This is the Rhythm hoodie. You can get this in any color you want, as long as it's black. So go ahead and grab 2 or 3 of them on the way out. When you guys buy a piece of merch, it helps me to keep this whole thing going. It's the coolest way to support the channel is to grab something cool from the shop. I got hoodies, t-shirts, snapbacks, all kinds of stuff. So visit the shop before you leave. I should have taken a breath before I said that. Drop a comment below if you got one. Share this video if you dig it. Like, subscribe. See you next video.